get really into. I get too into it. Hi everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Hope you are safe and well. We start on time because it's me. If you're new to the channel, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, all that good stuff. Hope everyone is safe and well. This, it's not cold actually. It's a Thursday evening in Allchurch. It's not too shabby, Alonso, at all. And we're here to do a transfer roundup. So obviously, Steld on the West Ham Weekly, as part of that, he does a sort of a transfer roundup type thing. Some of the sort of the key rumours that have been going on in the last sort of few days for that. And then obviously, so much news comes up. So we do one sort of towards the end of the week as well. And that's what we do on a Thursday. Bit of a scattergun, literally. We go through all the sites, all the rumours, and we collate them all down for you so you don't have to do it, basically. So it saves you lot a job, because it is a bit of a job, I'll be honest. It's a full-time job keeping on top of all the transfer rumours. And so what we do is anything that's come up in the last few days. So there'll be players that we've been linked to before that they had their news, so we haven't sort of brought them up. I think we've got about 16 players to get through, which is it's not a lot actually. It's usually knocking on 20. This afternoon I did a whole thing about Jesse Lingard, so we're not going to be talking about Jesse Lingard here because we've already spoken about it. If you want to go back and see, go and check out the video we did earlier this afternoon at lunchtime, whether Jesse is going to be a hammer, whether he's going to be a magpie, whether he's going to be a cock. Let's see what I did there. Let's go have a quick look at the chat, then we'll crack on, because got a lot to get through as always. Got a lot to get through. Who's hosting the show? If it's still, I'll be setting a reminder at 9:30. Well, you're basically going to miss half an hour, Daps, unless you get on. 9:30 tomorrow night. Well, tomorrow night. Tomorrow is going to be pretty much the Anton day. Anton's going to be doing a sort of a West Ham daily in the morning. He is doing the press conference late in the afternoon, and then he'll be doing the preview for the Man United game tomorrow night. So it's going to be an Anton day tomorrow. So yes, get strapped in for Anton, and then hopefully I'll be doing the watch along on Saturday, because Anton's going all corporate. He's going all prawn sandwich brigade at Old Trafford. Fair play to him. 9:30 next Thursday. Jeez, God, that is late for Stel. I'm gonna be later. Gonna get Pat to stick the kettle on. Lovely jubbly. Everyone's talking to each other. Black Country, hope you're well. Zoom through. We'll be on time indeed. I thought a 2-week break. Got my days mixed up. Sorry. Next game, Middlesbrough. There is after Saturday. There's the mid sort of the winter break. Is that what we call it now? So we haven't got any games until the Kidderminster game. So that's why I think we're going to see a lot of transfer action across the board, I think, in the next couple of weeks, because everyone can just, they haven't got any games to think of. They've got to just, mentally prepare themselves. Can't wait for the FA Cup next round. Indeed we can't. That's in 2 weeks' time at the first weekend in February. That's okay, mate. I have them days off all the time, and also be on BBC as well. It's 12:30 kickoff, I believe. Epic hash time. Hope you're well. We got the bookies suggest we're not getting anyone. Fair enough, Alex. What the bookies know, indeed. This Anstel, it's me. Hello. You picked 2. It's the wrong one. Evening, Mark. Hope you're well. Frano, Grano. Hope you're well. It's Super Chef. Hope you're well. Scott, James is in. Oh dear, Rusty B. It's me indeed. It's DJ Rusty B. It certainly is. It's cold, Russ. I put the heating on. Well, we've only just realised we had our bathroom retiled. We've only just realised that we haven't. They didn't switch the tower heat, the radiator back on, and so it's been freezing the last few days. So that's been fixed today. So terribly exciting. The world I live in. Made a lovely curry, homemade Bombay potatoes today. Very good. Heard 2 signings next week. All goes well. Anton's going to talk about a double sweep tomorrow. A little bit of information. We're going to cover who that could be in our sort of roundup today. And Anton's going to go in a bit more, go into the stats and stuff like that of the 2 guys that apparently we're going to be getting. Just started the tours. I've just started it as well. I'm not into it yet. I think we're episode 3 or 4. Mrs. Budden's watching it now, so I guarantee I'll come back and should have watched it. Then I have to watch it on my own. We need a new sign to take Stel's place. Nobes has signed a 1-year extension. No. Lingard off to Newcastle. Well, I think he will be off to Newcastle on loan, I believe, but I don't think he'll sign there permanently. They will say no one in contention for a top 4 place is going to sell to us. Totally agree. Scott watching the dip shits on The Apprentice. Love Island contestants with jobs. I once applied for a job. I got to the a few years, probably about 3rd or 4th year of The Apprentice. I got through to the last round. Not literally. I wasn't on the show, but the last sort of selection. And then they picked, like, they literally had 2 teams, and they picked that team, not this team or something. I can't remember. But yeah, that was fun. Also, when I tried to be the Milky Bar kid as well once. That's another story. Let's replace Sir Trevor Brooking. Well, we'll get Sir Trevor on eventually. If Lingard wants Newcastle move, let him. I don't think it's a case of him wanting a Newcastle move. I think it's Newcastle's the only club I think Man United are going to sell to. They ain't going to sell them to us. They ain't going to lend them out on loan to us, that's for sure. We'll go to Newcastle. It's Man United to let them go down. They will be competing to the same transfer. Great shout, Ollie, actually. Great shout. The latest has said no to Newcastle. We'll wait and see. Everyone just doing dinner back soon. See you soon. Everyone's talking to each other. Oh, I'm just going to go through some of these. I'm not deliberately not missing any, but otherwise I want to start like talking about the transfers. Adam, hope you're well. Paul, hope you're well. Steve, hope you're well. Marcus, good evening to you. None of the top 6. Yep. Signing exactly, Daniel. I think it's only, as I think it's 7 now of the top. I think it's 7 now, because Brentford has signed Olsen, the goalkeeper, on loan, didn't they? So I think 7 of the clubs in the Premier League have signed players, and 2 of them have sent their signing out on loan again. So there we go. Benny is coming home early, so I think he'll be back in time for the Kidderminster game now, which is great. Freeman, hope you're well. Russ, the Milky Bar kid. Indeed, Milky Bars are on me. Well, they weren't, because I never got the gig. Indeed. Right, let's start. I start talking about rumours, because otherwise it's going to be all bloody night. And I know you probably want to, but I've got work in the morning or anything. So as I said, this is the rumours that have come about in the last few days. Of course, as always, I'll give you my Rusty rumour rating, the original rumour rating, not the bottom believability barometer. It's the Rusty rumour rating. And let's start. Let's go. Yeah, let's start. Let's go. Obviously, it was on the title screen. I was trying to be clever. I was trying to be a little bit fruity as well. You know, Attila the Hun. Not obviously Attila the Hun, but obviously Attila the Hunt, because are we hunting him? Attila Szalai. Apparently, we're among a host of clubs looking. I've got my notes, unbelievably. Reporting among a host of clubs looking at the Fenerbahce centre-back. We've been named alongside Newcastle, Chelsea, AC Milan as those believed to be keen on the towering 23-year-old. He's been capped 23 times as well as all the 23s by Hungary at the senior level. He's caught the eye with his performances for both club and country. According to our good friend at Sky Sports, Dinesh, on Twitter, the Irons could move for the ace. The report claims that the Hammers are showing interest in the defender, who would cost in the region of £16.7 million. For a 23-year-old, I don't think that's bad value at all. This season, his development has been described as amazing. He's got an average 6.8 average on Sofa score rating from 19 Super League games. He obviously plays in the Turkish league. Value is under contract in Turkey until 2025, and the key thing is boom, he's left-footed. So he could represent a lot of value for money. He, albeit previously untested amongst Europe's elite leagues, having played in La Liga, not La Liga, Super League in Turkey. He hasn't obviously played in one of the top 5 leagues yet. He played every minute of the Euro 2020 games, containing a group containing France, Germany, and Portugal. And he's very, very good in the ball. He's very, very good in the ball. So for me, where's my button believability barometer? Right. So I am giving him 3 out of 5, which, as those of you who are regulars to the channel, that ain't bad for Rusty B. That ain't bad for Rusty B at all. That's better. And let's see what we've got in the chat. Ludders, good evening to you. Spurs be 15 minutes for Traore. 550, yeah, he's been rejected. Wolves want 25 million. Indeed. What we got here? Ahmed, hope you're well. Heat map. No, we're not going to do any heat maps today. Sorry to I think you lot have enough of my heat maps. I'm just Apparently, Moyes wants Diaz and Nat Phillips, possibly. And Anton's going to talk about that later. He's going to talk about that tomorrow in a bit more detail. So there's our first one. So only 6:15 to go. So we're sticking with centre backs, and we've got Courtney Hause. Now this, I put this script together, and then I think he's just literally just signed a new contract. Aston Villa, which will take him to 2025, I believe. But apparently, we were looking. We remain interested in Courtney Hause. 26-year-old, spent most of his youth career at the Hammers, so he'd be coming home. He was there for 2003, 8 years he was at the club. Never made a first team appearance though. Moved to Villa in 2019, having played for Wolves, Wycombe Wanderers, stuff like that. 54 appearances to date for Aston Villa. Minutes are coming hard to find at the moment. A source close to Hause has informed them that the defender is keen on going back to West Ham. Of course, he wouldn't. We're massive. His current deal expires at the end of this season, but he's just signed a new contract for 2025 in the last few minutes. So I don't think at 26. I mean, he's at his peak of his career at the moment. Let's be honest. There's plenty of experience. It could be an astute bit of business if it was cheap, but now he's sort of signed a new contract. I don't know how this one's going to look out, to be honest. So I put him down for 3 because of the West Ham connection, but that could well have changed, to be honest, now, having just literally signed a new contract. That's the trouble with these things. Once you print them, that's it. You're done in. So we'll put Courtney Hause just to bed, I think. Just to bed. Right, what we got at the moment? Let's say what we got here? Gets a. He does get a healthy. I think he gets an double eyebrows raised as well. There we go. That's what I'm going to say. I won't say any more, but we will be 100% disappointed. That's what I'm saying at the Hopes. So I'll say, hope you say anything again, Alex. I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong, but I appreciate you for joining and giving us your thoughts as always. Morning, Kieran. Hope you're my friend. Wants to Tarkovsky on a free. We're not going to get him on a free apart from if he waits to the summer. Honestly, I feel slightly silly discussing. None of them are turning out for us. Well, that's the idea. The idea from it is, we do it so you don't have to, and you can discuss and for me, I always get excited about transfers, like transfer window deadline day. I always get excited, and the it's the heart and it's the head and heart type syndrome. The head knows that it's going to be a disappointment, and we're going to get in Keith Moore or something like that. My heart believes that sort of glimmer of hope from when we signed Souček and we signed Bowen and we did Tevez and Mascherano. And the kid in me is that sort of soccer. I think it's that sort of championship manager type bit in me. I love it. I love a deal. I love a deal being done. And it's exciting. We're going to go to Leicester City, and it's just literally some bloke in Leicester City's training ground, and all the lights have turned out. He goes, no, their business is done. But I just love it. I really do. We should be looking at a striker also. Scott, I've seen a tourist, thought it was good. Okay, I have a really bad thing. We'll buy no one. However, if we do, it'll be a championship player like the Blackburn striker. Get Tompkins back. Isn't Rudiger free? He is in the summer. But he's talking to a few other people. Just sign one, for God's sake. There we go, BRDC. Fair play to you. Lingard, Phillips, Origi, Tarkovsky are all last-minute signings. Call clubs bluff, and they have to take the money or get nothing done. I think some of that will happen. All we're going to hear is we put bids in. That's difficult in January to do business. Terry, I think honestly, I think this is different as well because you've got the whole thing around COVID, and that's the truth. We don't want to say it, but it is. The fact is, West Ham we haven't got rid of Yarmolenko or anyone like that because we haven't got anyone in. So I think there'll be a lot. I think once, as I said, after the Man United game, I can see a lot of movement, and then it's like the merry-go-round. It's like a dominoes effect. He's sold him, so he can buy him. I think that's going to happen after this weekend match fixtures because the managers can sort of concentrate for a couple of weeks on getting stuff done. It's almost like we shouldn't have bothered, just literally having a transfer fortnight, really, to be honest. But that's just me. Right, who's next? So who is next? Some people have always spoken about it. Anton's going to speak about him a lot more tomorrow. Nat Phillips apparently have made contact with Liverpool over buying Nathaniel Phillips. I prefer him as Nat Phillips rather than Nathaniel. Sounds too posh. And the centre back could be an absolutely perfect signing for David Moyes, who apparently is mates with his dad. So there we go. In this multi-million, billion-pound industry that is football, David Moyes is mates with Nat Phillips' dad. My dad knows your dad, so we'll get the deal done. And as been alluded to, he is apparently one of the two that Moyes is looking to bring in. I said I'm not going to talk about too much about Nat Phillips because Anton's going to talk a lot more about him tomorrow morning. Him and another gentleman, which we'll talk about as well today. But I think around 15 million quid have been quoted in the press, which seems a bit of a bargain. I think, to be honest, for somebody who's quite young. He's young, but he's experienced as well in the Premier League. And if Liverpool send him to you, that's another question. That's another issue. But we'll see. So I'll give him 2 because although I could see it happening, what worries me is not being able to get him because we're challenging for the same positions that Liverpool are challenging. The only exception, I think, to that whole rule is doing business with Man City. Because Man City have basically run away with the title. So if we did put a cheeky bid in for Ake, 6 weeks ago, I could never see it happening. But now City have just gone to another level. I could see it happening, something like that. But anyway, so I'm going to put 2. Yeah. As a player, yeah. But as an actual Liverpool player signing for us, yeah. There we go. What we got so far? Anyone else? If you don't sign, I think more of pressure from the fans. I totally agree. I think everyone will be pressured, not just Moyes, the board, Rob Newman, all of them. As always, leaving it's the last day that put the money on us buying the slowest sense back in the world. Well, that's all right because I'm not playing. And some unknown striker who scored 5 goals in 500 games in San Marino League. Well, you never know. He might come up. He might come up in my list. Who knows? Let's discuss Yarmolenko's heat map. We're not talking about Yarmolenko today. Nat Phillips, younger straight swap for Dawson. Yeah, I agree. If we get that Phillips, we'll finish in 12th, says Patrick. Like I said, still show maybe some players may not want to move homes. Totally right, because also it's not just the football club, it's the player as well. And, they're going to London. At the moment, London, look at the COVID. There's a big hotspot. It's like it's another thing you have to think about, and I know it's different for us, but we assume you buy a player and that's it. You put a bid in and they accept it, but you've got the bar swing, you've got the club wanting to sell him if they want to sell him, and then the player wanting to move. Because some players are happy to sit on the bench, some players are happy to stay within a successful team. I mean, we've had issues before, isn't it? James Tarkowski didn't want to come to us, Coletta Carr didn't want to come to us last year because they didn't think we were going to progress, but now they have. They're like, quite fancying it now. So we'll see what happens. Right, what we get here. Ain't been plugged in, indeed. Phillips will be going for the future. No, he won't be, Mark. I think he'll be back for it's too soon. He'll be back for the Kidderminster game. But again, that's earlier than expected. Klopp said he won't stand in the way of him leaving. Well, fair enough, you see. As always, leaving. Oh, we've always said that one. If Arsenal signs Suarez, they have 3. Yeah, but if they say it's like that is like Championship manager, isn't it? I mean, Suarez, Coutinho. Yeah, and he'll never go. I don't think. But he wants to go. But Atletico Madrid was like, no, you can't just turn up. It's like Peter Odemwingie. Do you remember when he turned up at QPR's training ground, literally in his car, and then West Brom went, no, you're not going anywhere. That's pretty much the same thing. Who's happy that the flop country has been? I was sad for Benny because obviously they're a defending nation, the defending champions of the AFCONs, but it comes here. Back of COVID, indeed. We have to start building on Okaflex instead of Yama. We know that. Great goal he scored, solo goal against Exeter. Check it out. Thought COVID was worse. Something. Well, that's what I'm saying, lad. I don't know but I'm saying there's lots of other mitigating factors, probably more so than maybe 2 years ago, to consider with players when they're moving clubs. And Nesri didn't want to come to us twice, indeed. There we go. Right, let's crack on. Let's crack on to the next one. Liverpool 2 up, are they? Okay, very good to know. Right, who's next? We have got this man, Kurzawa. Layvin Kurzawa's come up again. West Ham have been handed a major boost to secure the signing of Paris Saint-Germain left back Kurzawa in January. Chelsea have already rejected him going. They want to buy him in, but according to Foot Mercato, the Hammers are among a number of clubs keen on signing him and have already made contact to sign him. CBS's Sports League On correspondent Jonathan Johnson claimed that he is set to leave this summer. It opens the door for the London club to swoop in. Obviously, we are in the hunt for a left back or some cover at left back. Definitely, although Cresswell's back in now. It might not be so much of a pressing issue. He's 29 anyway, so he's quite old. Well, not quite old. That's ridiculous. I'm 40, but for bringing in a left back, it doesn't really fit the Moyes, sell on ability aspect of a player or developmental ability. But he could be as low as 8-9 million quid, and he's a French international. The only thing is his personality could be in question, but then again, Moyes did wonders with Arnautovic. I've gone with a 3 because if we are on the look for a left back, now there's a lot more better at Lee Buchanan. There's a lot of the guys in the championships, but sometimes I don't know. I could just see something like this happening. I'll be honest, but that's me. That's just me. No from BRDC. Fair play. If you bring one player in, who would it be realistically and why? If I brought in one player, I'd bring in Attila. Attila would be the one I want. Alex? One last thing. Don't swallow the BS after time. If you say it, never get. I say starting from the Johnson thing months ago. They have to go. What's your opinion, Alex, my man? Your opinion, buddy. He probably says it'll be all right next Thursday. Exactly. Next Thursday it's all stopping. We have got Longhello. We have indeed. Have you seen the video that Lanzini put up with Zuma, Masuaku, and Vlasic? It's very, very funny. It's on the West Ham Network Facebook page if you want to see it. As long as we sign a centre back, a striker, and possibly an extra defender of good quality, I'll be fine. Me too. If no signings, you have to play young 23s. Hopefully now Suja and Zuma are back. We can cause Man United some serious problems. Indeed. Onside Gooners out of the cup. Yes. There we go. Hoping Zuma back, Gaza. I believe, by the sounds of it, Zuma and Suchek should be in contention for Saturday. We hope so. Next one, Maling Sarr, Chelsea centre back, looks a bit like Conte. I always have to double check and have to put it back into Google to make sure I got the right player because so he looks very similar to Conte. And they're interested in signing him on loan, apparently, according to the website Foot Mercato. I might as well read that all the time, isn't it? It says Everton and the Hammers are part of a group of 4 Premier League clubs vying to sign the Frenchman's signature. His future remains in the air. He's barely featured for his club this season. He's got a contract with Chelsea until 2025. Remains to be seen as whether it will be a temporary exit via loan or permanent one. If it is a temporary one, there are 4 clubs who want him on loan. Both Everton and West Ham are among them. They are interested in a deal with the 22-year-old as it looks to bolster their squads, as we know. However, they believe that he could largely fill in at the back in terms of Chelsea can, should they need him to, while his complete inoculation against COVID means he provides cover in case of any outbreaks as well. So, although I would think he'd actually suit us quite well. Again, it's the Chelsea thing, it's the top 4 thing. So, good player, but I can't see it happening. For us, if we lose to a team because it's a top team we can beat but never get the better of Man United, and trust us to lose to possibly one of the worst teams in the league as always. That's just the West Ham way. I doubt it will sell us. No, I don't think they'll sell us, but we could get him on loan while they do it on loan before obviously FIFA have come in today and are trying to eradicate the whole Chelsea thing, which I don't think is a bad thing, to be honest. There might be some deals to be had at Chelsea for a lot of their players. So we'll see. Lose to Man U to get the Lingard deal. Lose against Leeds means we beat Man United. It's the West Ham way, hey Bulldog, isn't it? It's the West Ham way. It's, to be honest, personally, it's a really good team to be playing after the Leeds game. I don't necessarily want to be playing Burnley, but someone like Man United, the team are up for it. You cannot not be up for that game. If you're a newbie into the Premier League, or someone like Vlasic, or someone like Antonio, be up for it. You've got guys coming back from injury as well. Always a bit of needle with Man United. Ronaldo over there. You'll naturally be up for that game. So I would expect to see a far, far, far better performance. That's for sure. Let's move on. Let's go to the next one. Not Chicharito. It's Chickenino. Now, I don't think we're going to get this guy, but it's interesting but we've been linked with him. But I think basically Wolves are going to get him. Apparently, Wolves are on the verge of signing him, £3 million apparently. But we were looking at him. A report in Abolo report that West Ham and Chelsea have been watching him for more than 2 years ahead of a possible deal. However, it's Wolves who have moved in to secure him. It stated that Grasshopper Zurich, a team Wolves have links to, also eyed the player, meaning some will wonder about a loan move to Switzerland. They could buy him and loan him straight out. They've already done it to or don't know their other signing of the January transfer window, to be honest. From now on, it looks like he's been lined up as a first team signing right for now. Daily Mail report that the fee is around 3 to 4 million. He's travelling to Wolves at the moment, and I think he might have already signed, actually. I'm just looking now. But that's one of the reasons why. What I think necessarily about him, it's not necessarily about us getting him, but what it could mean to Traore. And we've mentioned it a little bit here. We've mentioned it here as well, because he's a right winger, and that frees up potentially Traore. There's a reason why Tottenham have put a bid in for Traore stay for 15 million quid. I still think personally we may look at that as well. And for those of you who laugh at my heat maps, you can see what he could potentially offer to West Ham that Antonio offers as well. And Christ, if you play both of them, be mental. Right, what we got here. So I can't see us getting him, but I think what's interesting is we will be linked with him and be looking at him, but it's the follow-on from him. And I think Wolves are, if they haven't signed him, they're about to. What we got here, Sar Gallagher is on our scout base in Chelsea. Yeah, well, there we go. Do you know if any injuries? I don't know, to be honest, others. Anton's doing the preview tomorrow, and he'll be doing the Moyes press conference as well. We'll get a draw against Man U. Damn, Man U are brutal. They just held on to Lingard because he proved he's not finished with us. He's already been signed by Wolves. I think we can beat the Manx. I think we can. Good evening to Green Street Elites. Hope you're well. Moyes got everything wrong against Leeds. Needs to up his game against Man United. I think he knows that, Kieran, to be honest. I think that was quite evidently clear. Right, so I'm going to zoom past this guy, but I think it's interesting. The fact is Wolves have got this guy. He's a right winger. He's basically Traore's replacement. I think they quoted 25 million. That's what they want for Traore. And yeah, honestly, I was talking to Martin, who's the announcer at West Ham. We and him work together at the club, and he's a big fan of Traore as well. And I think, yeah, and I've looked back at it, and we signed Antonio when he was 26. Traore is 26 now, and don't forget, for several years, Antonio was playing right wing back, right back, right wing. You know, he wasn't a dominant striker. It was only in the last two and a bit years that they pushed him up front, and he's bagged himself 10 goals a season, and now he's our top goal scorer of all time in the Premier League. So who knows what will happen with Traore? So I mean, this guy I've literally put 1.5 because I think he's already gone, but it's the follow on for me. What else we've got here? One capable of beating them. Derby getting more stick, indeed. Kieran, I'm very calm. Quality players, I'll take them. I read Man U are holding out for 25 million from Newcastle. Fair play. Well, apparently that's if they want to buy him outright. That's what Ranić said. But then there was talk of him being available on a loan deal for about 4 million quid. Apparently Newcastle don't want to pay 4 million quid. They would pay 2.5 million quid. And so, yeah. Carolyn Hugel, seen out lurking outside the other stadium. There we go. No way. Please don't sign Traore. Well, there we go. 25 million for Lingard, exactly, on a 6-month deal. Because 6-month contract, he expires at the end of the summer. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. 29, yeah. If you like it, give it a like. If not, that's fair enough. It's up to you guys. Absolutely, we need to bring in players, especially a striker, defender. I know January isn't easy, but Moyes likes January, doesn't he? He's done some deals in January. Traore's been strong, but has no end product, no goals, no assists. Don't forget Antonio did it really. To be perfectly honest, he wasn't prolific. Prolific. That's it. He wasn't prolific in the other clubs as such. And so, again, it was only recently. I mean, I'll look at the goals, but he's done 2 seasons back to back with 10 goals. and then he's been here since for 7 years now. So until then, say I don't know how many goals. It's 49 goals he scored, something like 49, 50 goals, something like that. So say take 20 out, 30. He was only averaging about 6 goals a season, really. So there we go. What we got here, Origi for me, yeah, I don't think Liverpool are going to sell him to you though. So it spends more time putting Baby. He does, he certainly does, and Anton will like him just for the sheer thighs, if anything. And he was a right back, exactly. Whereas I think he's a right winger, and if Moyes can Moyesify and Traore, or it frees up maybe more space for Bowen to play up front and Traore to play on the right hand side, and then sometimes you throw on Traore and Antonio. I'd be shitting myself if I was one of the back defender. Newcastle are the richest club in the world, but they're a lot stingy. Imagine the richest people in the world usually are the stingiest as well, aren't they? Gunners down to 10 men indeed. They are. Traore is the closest to Antonio, and Moyes has come out and said he wants an Antonio. He's looking for someone like Antonio. He's the only one. He's not worth 25 million. He's certainly not. He's certainly not indeed. He's certainly not. Muscle bound indeed. Hey, Bulldog. Right, let's move on. Right, here's going to be this next one. Could be the deal of the transfer window if we get it, in my opinion. My friend, I've been raving about this bloke for ages, Boubacar Kamara. We've again been linked to him for the Olympic or just Marseille, not Olympique de Marseille, just Marseille defensive midfielder Boubacar Kamara. We've been credited with an interest in the 22-year-old for some time, and we are believed to be leading the race as recently as this week. Now, a report from Corrello de la Sports has claimed the Irons could reach a deal for the Frenchman during the January transfer window. The report claims an agreement between West Ham and the French League Club would be achieved. Should be around 6 to 7 million quid. 6 to 7 million euro, about 5 million quid, be forthcoming for the 9-capped French under 21-year-old starlet. This season, he's been had a phenomenon by Rondello, and he's earned an impressive 7 average on SOFA score rating from 17 league appearances. He's valued at over 22 million quid. He's out of contract at the end of the season, so signing the Marseille-born ace for the suggested fee will be an absolute bargain, even with a dwindling contract. Whilst it may be immediately possible to do the deal in the summer, bringing Kamara to the London Stadium now means another 6 months adaptation, as well as a greater chance of signing the race. With obviously Mark Noble set to retire, with potentially Alex Kral going back to Sparta Moscow and not on his loan deal. He obviously needs midfielders, reinforcements, and the Frenchman, I think, is ideal. This is the man I like. I like this guy. This is the guy I like. I think he's brilliant. He's got a very similar path to Declan. He's, not saying he's the French version of Declan Rice, but he started as a centre back and they moved into CDM. He's also been the captain for Marseille. I think he's played a hell of a lot of times already for Marseille already. 22, lots of experience, and I think he can make a real difference. And if it means that Alex Kral's going home, then we're a bit light in central defensive midfield, and he could come in. And then next year, him with Declan Rice, with Souček, and one other would complement taking out Noble and Kral as well. So, sorry, I don't mean to cough down the microphone. So I'm putting at 3.5 because I think, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying today at the lunchtime show. There's loads of free transfers around in the summer, and so if you can get a little cheeky one, some of these ones coming to a contract. Yeah, he could sign a pre-contract agreement with us now. Apparently Roma sniffing around for him as well. But you go to Marseille, there's 6 million quid. Bosh. This guy's 22 million quid now. Good couple of seasons at West Ham, you could look at a 50 million pound player. That's the way it works now. What we said, we need a centre back since the Middle Ages, indeed. Breaking news: Baramba are both can be back. He won't be back for Saturday. Tomorrow's Friday, so he couldn't even the best he'd be on the bench. Be knackered. That's why I think it's a game too early. I think Black Country likes the sound of this. Indeed, Sky Sport reporting Dembele wanted a pay rise. Wonders will never cease. Indeed, would love Kamara with George Santos. Obviously, the one of our chief scouts, one of our scouts, who was a former scout at Marseille. And I'm sure he's been talking to Pyatt about how great it is. No private jet for Ben Rama. See, Benny has dyed his hair again. There we go. Well, he's had to dye it out before, so there we go. Party played today, Rusty. Very good. Excellent. And Black Country finds it hilarious. So there we go. I'm glad he does. That's who I think. I think it'd be a deal. This guy would be a steal as well. This guy's very similar to the last deal for Kamara in terms of he's out of his contract. Fabio Carvalho. We could make a move for the boy, for the Fulham winger. And that's come from a recent report by X. The 19-year-old has been a much sought-after prospect for many top clubs since it was revealed early in the season that he's unlikely to commit to a new deal for Fulham, with the Hammers said to be a lynch of potential suitors for the signature. Carvalho's current contract is due to end at the end of this season. He's allowed to negotiate with a foreign-based club of a pre-season contract, pre-signing agreement if he wants to. But X has told his patrons that the East London side remain interested in a deal for the attacking midfielder, as he went on to outline the stance of the potential signings. He's a guy they like. His contract's in the summer. He's not a priority position in January, but we can move for him. The youngster is thriving while graduating from Fulham's academy, and he's viewed as and he's still viewed as someone that the West London outfit would love to keep amongst the ranks moving forward. He's made 22 appearances for this side across all competitions, scoring 6 goals in the process. I mean, he's the nuts, isn't he? He is the nuts at the moment. Fulham are flying. I think it's the first time in 80 odd years in the league that a side have won 3 games scoring 6 or more goals in a row, or something ridiculous like that. The likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid have spoken about him in the past. Liverpool are obviously sniffing around for him as well. And I think he's going to go, but where to? Who knows? But I like him. I'm going to put him as a 3 because you can see, again, it's that sort of mentality in terms of the types of players we're trying to get. Maybe the Championship players, you get yourself a bargain, but there's a sell-on value and there's progression. And someone like Carvalho, there's no surprise we can get him in terms of he'd improve, that's for sure. Why isn't acting on all the transfer rumours? Bad, very bad. Private jet, not enough for Benny to get his rest. Moyes would put Carvalho in 23s. Yeah, you should tell us whether. Yeah, just tell us, Sigmund. Just tell us, mate. Would be a good signing. Ben Rama or Carvalho, no brainer. I think he could play on the left. I think Ben Rama could play. I think he's a very exciting player. There's no doubt about how exciting he is. I think he's a fantastic player. So I said I put 3. I think 3's a fair stake for that. Right, who is next? We have got Ludovic Ajorque, who we've been linked with, the Strasbourg striker. Still mentioned him on the weekly as well. According to a new report in France, we're eyeing a move for the Strasbourg striker. We're moving on to strikers now. Hammers obviously on lookout for anyone really, but a striker would do in the January transfer window. And a report by Foot Mercato, not the Japanese news outlet, but a news outlet in France, reports that Ludovic has emerged as a potential striker, potential target for West Ham. He's 27 and has been in the club since 2018. He's been in excellent form this year, scored 10 goals in 18 games in Ligue 1, while also providing 6 assists. The report states it is unlikely the club will be up for selling him in the transfer window, but he could be maybe available in the summer when a big offer could potentially arrive for him. In terms of the window, I can't see this one happening, to be honest. He's sort of come out of nowhere, so it does seem a bit like an agent's talk. But then the other flip side is we've got a bloody head of recruitment there, so you're going to get these more random players like come out of the woodwork. So I can see both sides. He's a very physical player. He looks like an absolute nutter when he's got his head shaved, which I quite enjoy. He would be suitable cover for Antonio, considering the consistency he's got in League R, and the types of goals he can score as well. It remains to be seen much about the price tag, as the French club put up the forward, considering he's their main striker. So I can't see him going. I mean, he's interesting, an interesting name. I've been watching a lot of clips about him because I think he's quite interesting. I put 3 because, again, he's an Antonio type physical player. So for me, it's like, at the moment Moyes seems to be favouring these sort of more physical strikers. That's what he said. He said the other day, it's taken 2 years. He still hasn't been able to find a striker like Antonio. So there we go. What we got? I can see the Moyes template for Real League get snatched by lower leagues than us. Fair play. Yarma having lessons how to operate a tank. Okay. Moyes said he will not talk about transfers. He will not. God, no big lump and no ability. Breaking news: Arsenal requesting the season to be postponed. Let me guess. No one has signed. Of course, no one's signed yet. We know no one's signed. Could be that someone is signed already, but Moyes is quiet about it. Well, he said that about the contracts. He said they have put bids in for players as well. So again, we don't know anything about that, and I quite like that. I quite like it. It's like I remember when we signed Areola on loan, there was no talk about it, and then in the morning it was like it came out. We'd already signed him. We'd signed him the day before, but then all the information came out. So I like that. I don't mind that at all. Who's next? We got Valentin Castellanos from New York City. Apparently, West Ham and Arsenal face new competition to sign the New York City FC star, with Brazilian giants Palmeiras now keen on the striker. According to Esportes, the South American champions are eager to sign a striker this summer, with the FIFA Club World Cup coming up in February, of which Chelsea obviously appearing. That's why you had the game against Brighton the other day, and that's been sort of scheduled. And I think I got rescheduled one against Arsenal as well, because the Club World Cup it's meant to be in November now. Last year, now it's February this year. Palmeiras have turned their attention to Castellanos, as the likes of Cavani basically was interested, but now they're not interested in him. As per reports, it's not the first time the Palmeiras have chased the MLS star. They won their first. New York themselves had a bit of a historic season for the franchise in the MLS. They won their first piece of silverware. They won the MLS Cup. Castellanos won the Golden Boot, becoming the second player after David Villa to win the accolade for the club. And as you expect, his form has caught the eye of clubs in Europe and made the Premier League. The Daily Mail reported in December that West Ham were keen on Castellanos, whilst according to The Athletic, the forward is also on Arsenal's radar. Both clubs needing a striker. Obviously, Castellanos could be a low-risk, high-return option for either side. He's got a £15 million price tag, as per the Daily Mail. And the New York City FC star will cost a decent amount this January, should a club attempt to sign him. As for Castellanos, a move back to South America, Palmeiras, could be the wrong decision in his career. Indeed, whilst Castellanos whilst Palmeiras are the reigning back-to-back continental champions, Europe still offers the best opportunities for the forward. So especially with clubs Arsenal and West Ham eager to sign him. Again, very different striker Castellanos is, but he's MLS, but he's 15 million quid. So it's a complete balancing act with these rumours, to be honest, in terms of money to experience. Yeah, you want someone who's Premier League ready and but you're paying top dollar. You're going to pay 25 million quid. You're going to pay 25 million quid for Jesse Lingard. No, but this guy at 15 million. I'll put 2, because again, it's another random name, and the random names, I'm getting used to them now, because I think with Rob Newman, I just think it is Sunday morning football player. There we go. Fair play. What we got to say? Let's go up a little bit more. Arsenal doesn't fancy Kral at all, and Vlasic is also on the fence. I like it if we actually sign people. I think we'd all do. Soon, good new noise to sign a world-class player. Band needs to be bench warming. We've been linked to this guy before. I'll be honest, I don't know much about it. Well, I started to follow a little bit more of the MLS, and he has scored some good goals. But it's MLS. He scored a lot of goals for MLS. As I said, Golden Boot. It's Valentin Castellanos. We know it's Valentin Castellanos. The board are given 150 quid plus sales. What is Divin Dave up to? Well, if they get 150 quid, fair play. Get this guy. You got 135 million left. I've done the math straight away. Everton assigned guy with Brett Angel, God bless him. I've seen this guy play. Not sure about him. 15 million quid. Too much for this guy. Fair play. English Yardie. That's why we have. That's why we do these things live, because some people have not scouted, but have watched these guys and have a better opinion than me doing my YouTube searches. Sunday morning football player followed West Ham. We'd have about 100. Well, I think we'll do that. We'll do the list at the end. I think we're on about 80 at the moment. So there we go. That's about four. It was about 4 squads. I really don't think. I don't think he's got 100. But we'll see. Get Hugo back. Get him out of them bubbles. I just want to come out to those balls. He never did come out to those balls. Felt so bad for him. 150, that's all dream, indeed. We all dream, Steve, indeed. We do. You'll laugh. Steve's laughing his head off. Steve's happy. Poor Jordan Hugo. Just wanted to come out to those balls. And then when we played Norwich, it moved. He could have come out to those balls, but as a Norwich player. Anyway, let's move on. Now, let's talk about BDD. That's what we call him now, not KDB, BDD. That's the abbreviation. That's what the cool kids call him now, BDD. Let's talk about BDD. I won't talk about too much because Anton's going to be talking about him more tomorrow. This is one of the 2, apparently, that Moyes identified as a goer. Him and Nat Phillips are the 2, apparently. 25 million quid for him, apparently, or 28. I've read as well. I've been quoted. Let's see. 22-year-old. He's scored 20 goals this season already in 26 games. People would put a cheeky bet on him to score 20 goals this season. They've already cashed out. Well done. He scored 3 goals, 9 appearances for Chile as well. He's a good finisher, hard working. He's got impressive numbers. However, there are this season I think is a bit of an abnormal. It's a bit different this season. Before this season, he'd scored only 20 goals in 146 games. For both Nottingham Forest and Blackburn. One swallow doesn't make a summer, I believe is the right term I put together, as the old saying goes. For me, in Moyes, if Moyes thinks he's the right man, then he thinks he's the right man. I think he's, again, I was literally about to say that. Mark's coming there first. One season, I really think he's a one season wonder. I really do. And Blackburn are capitalising on him now because fair play that, his goals have basically got him into the league. I'm going to eat my words and maybe he'll become a world beater. Fantastic. Good luck to him. I really hope so. My only concern as well is we did not go back and look at my heat maps yesterday. We showed Diaz his heat map. He's not a striker. He's not a striker. Or at the moment, Moyes might change him. He operates very much on the left-hand side. Now there was some news saying that the West Ham were going to have a major signing, but that major signing was going to be in a position which we're already well equipped in. So this could be it. We're well equipped, I think, in the attacking midfielder realm, particularly with Ben Rama back, particularly with Fornals, with Bowen, with Lanzini, with Ben Rama, with Vlasic. We've got a lot of players. So this one, I think, is a very similar type player. And he's a lot of money. Comes with a big price tag. As I said, I'm not going to go too much into him because Anton will talk about a lot more about him tomorrow. For me, I think 15 million quid seems a lot fairer than 25, but that's what championship players are going for now. So because if he carries on banging them in and Blackburn go up, that's 150 million quid. You know what I mean? So we'll see. So I've put him as, just because of all the rumours that have gone in, I put him as just because I don't particularly want him at the moment. I'll eat my words. I mean, once he puts a claret shirt, blue shirt on, I'll support him all the time. But I think for 25 million quid, I think there's a lot better deals to be had, particularly with younger like Fabio Carvalho. I mean, you could get him, you can get Kamara. That's like 12, 30 million quid, rather than you still have like another 12 million quid to buy players with. Surely he's exciting and worth a punt. That's what I mean. Totally hard to judge because he's doing well at Blackburn, but you could say he's a one season wonder. I think he is, to be honest. I like BDD, fair play. He's part of Man City's, probably recruit him. He's MLS player. Great shout. You're right, because obviously he's part of the Etihad, the Man City group in terms of New York City FC. So maybe he has some insider knowledge. Moyes is Hugo striker busted. Really don't want Brett BDD. One season wonder. He's born in Stoke to score in the Copa America. Yeah, good shout. Yeah, he's come out of nowhere, really, to be honest. Mitrovic is a beast, but old he is. That comes to mind. Good in lower leagues, but not at the top. Aiden, hello, hope you're well. Diaz isn't good enough. I watched him 9 times this season. He scores a lot of pens and tappings. Well, there we go. Why don't you take that into account? Are we could we spend that money better? Quite possibly, I think. Richarlison 50 minutes quiz, no brainer. There we go. Vlasic replacement then. I don't know. Went to Sutton, he was awful. He was. Carvalho and Attila for me. I'm the same Kimbo. I think there's more to come from Vlasic. I think so as well. Blackburn play 3-4-1-2, has to play wide. So he plays wide already. So is he coming? So, he's not the striker. I think people go, yeah, he's the guy we want because he scored 20. He's not a striker. He's not he's more an attack, as you said, like an out left. So where's that mean? Does that mean maybe? Again, does that mean, for me, I think that Moyes is using Bowen more as our second striker. So when Antonio's up, Bowen's in, then we've got someone like Diaz in to then play. And then Vlasic can play on the right, or Ben Rama can play on the right. So there's options like that. That's the way I see it. In the same way when they brought Jesse in, he wasn't the striker we all craved for, but he bagged himself 9 goals in 16 games and would play as a false 9. He could play as a false 9, but I think, to be honest, I think they played Bowen as a false 9 as well. If we had to keep Ben Rama, most would pick. Yep, I think so. I'd keep Vlasic. Fair enough. Benny's better than Vlasic, even offer more as a late sub. We aren't saying no one, says Vinny. There we go. Should use Harry Redknapp as a talent scout. I think he has an eye for talent. That's why it's called the transfer window, because of his window. He's boring. In the West Ham clips they release also, for that reason, I'm out. Get Carvalho or Lingard instead. Well, we're not going to get Lingard in the summer. I don't think we're getting this January. Might get him in the summer. Carvalho, I think definitely. You can buy Yama in pound. The only problem is his wages. Richarlison is an upgrade. Is perfect as an Antonio upgrade. Really? Fair enough. I'd be happy if we pay for someone to take them. Just take them. Just take them. It's like when you're like the rag and bone man. Just leave them out the front. Someone will take him up. Norwich, someone will take him off around. Just leave him out the front with the bins. So we'll see what happens. Right, let's carry on. Let's talk about more strikers. Talk about Belotti. Andrea Belotti. I love Andrea Belotti. He's if ever was a player who should be playing for West Ham, it's this guy. He's a right bastard. He's a nasty bloke, and I think he'd be brilliant. We've apparently, according to various news sources, Moyes has made this man our number one target this summer. This transfer window, rather. 28-year-old has recently snubbed a move to the likes of Newcastle and El Hilal. The report adds that West Ham will be able to sign him on a pre-contract deal for the summer due to his contract expiring rather than right out in the January transfer window. £25 million rated. They'll be getting someone who's been banging in the goals for Serie A for many years now. He's the man who wears the Torino armband as well. He's had as a real captain, as well as the supply of goals he'd bring to the table. Belotti would bring some real leadership, and fans would be buzzing to see him join. I like him. He's a bastard, and he'd be our bastard, I hope. I put 3 out of 5. Maybe January might not be the right time for him. Maybe we'll sign him pre-season for the summer, which would be nice. But he's 28, so he's coming to that end. So it's a difficult one. But I like him. I really like him. Yes, please, says Kimbo. We'll talk about Schlick in the middle. Just get this one done, please. Belotti, good choice, but he's injured at the moment. I haven't seen him in Torino. He has been injured for quite a bit indeed. I think he's only played like 8 games in Serie A this year. So much so when I did my heat maps, I did the heat map from last season because he'd played more games, obviously. Hosset to Bayern Munich. Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute. I like Belotti experience and passion. For me, if we're on a championship, Kelly's your man. He is Lloyd Kelly, but I honestly think, Dylan, that Bournemouth are going to price this out. I like him left-sided as well. Always good, can play left back. I really like Lloyd Kelly. I've been banging on about him for many weeks already, but I think Bournemouth will price us out because Bournemouth are going for promotion. So I don't think we'd get him. I'd like to, because I think it'd be great as well, but we'll see. Yeah, exactly. Him and Zoo will be absolute fire. Russ, to be honest, we are not far from We're not far from the greedy 6. You've got to build ambition. As to building a squad, will continue to improve. Top names in the summer free agency. Yeah, I agree totally, Yardy. And I think it's about progression to keep Deck. If we're progressing, then he'll very much feel part of it. And also next year, he's got the keys to the castle, and because Nobes isn't around. So I think if we have a good season this season, maybe a good cup run, get to that stages of the Europa League, and we're pushing for that Champions League spot, I can see Deck staying. If if wheels came off, then not this year, that's for sure. Not this year. I can't see it. Sits very deep. Quality player is what we need. But then so does Antonio. Look at his heat map all over the fucking place. Blossy would be good for us. He's on his way, and if Moyes is off to Everton to save his marriage, there we go. He played for Italy in Euros, so surely he can't turn that down. Price the only issue. They'll try and exactly, of course, won't be coming to us. Okaflex would come good. He should do. Kelly looked awful the other night. Wait till the last knockings to put a bidding for Origi. Again, I don't think they'll sell him, but come fair. I mean, it depends about the African Cup of Nations, how far Mane, Egypt, and is Mane Senegalese? But how far they come in, because that's something. Obviously, they've got Jota as well. But yeah, not worth the price if he has such dips. No, fair play. Fair play to you. Right, who's next? Cabral's still more rumours about Cabral. Detail Gold featured an update this week and pointed out that many European sides have been interested in him, and pointed out us and Newcastle have not reached the figure apparently demanded by Marseille. It said the Swiss side are looking for 15 million euros, but none of the Hammers, the Magpies, Barcelona, or Zenit St. Petersburg have been able to match that price so far. Corinthians have also struggled to make the signing as well. The race for the striker remains open. Since that's not an exorbitant price for an attacking player who's been extremely prolific this season, it would be no surprise to see him getting a move in January. Perhaps Newcastle and West Ham simply know they can afford to wait a bit and have him in the back of their mind in case other avenues don't pan out. I can see Cabral being a backup. I really could, to be perfectly fair. I put him as a 3 because I could see him as a backup. And as you said, he might not be the first choice, but I could see him coming in, and I could see him coming in and scoring. I really could, in terms of the way he plays and stuff. Very different from Antonio, more of a forward, more of a striker, will stay around that box area. But very often than not, we'll get to a position where there's no one in the box and we cross it in. That's what he would provide. So again, very different than Antonio, that's for sure. Jesse going Newcastle, and we sign a dildo. I think Jesse will go on to loan to Newcastle, but wait and see. It's all right. Wait till the summer. We need players now. I know, Andrew. We all know. Evening, happy hope you're well. Evening, Bob. There we go. Who are we trying to get? Let me guess. We tried FC. Cabral would be immense. I wanted someone who stays in the box more as options, so why not? That's what I mean. That's what's needed. Totally. As long as Lingard gets game time wherever he goes, it'll be fine. Missing out. I think we'll get him I think we won't get him in January. I think we'll get him in the summer. Personally, that's just me. I never thought I'd say this high. It's last some sanity. He's been linked with Barcelona over clubs. He's also European experience, so I'll be happy if we signed him. I agree. Cabral has flop written all over him. What do you think? I can see Adidas and FC Basel, but I can't see flop. Anyway, maybe it's on the back. He scores every part of his body. I like his improvisation. Hard to stop that, indeed. Evening, ladies. Evening, Luke. Hope you're well, my friend. Let's crack on. Let's talk about Hlošek. So X claims that there is a deal in place for West Ham to sign Hlošek, and the move could still happen. Apparently, we initiated an approach to sign the 19-year-old in December. However, since then, there's been no major update. And X has addressed those claims in the recent post. He said, I've been asked why we haven't moved for Hlošek, which I don't know why certain the thinking behind it. I believe a deal is there still to be done for the player, but at this point we haven't decided to do that. It could be that West Ham have a deal in place for Hlošek, but we're waiting maybe to see if something else materialises. All the developments around the The Czech Republic international came in the last months of 2021, so the club have been working to sort it out before. Now, the window opened. Whether or not they find another striker before the window closes is another one's guess, but hopefully they've got some agreement in place. We don't know. We just do not know. While a 19-year-old does not walk straight into the first team, he is a good option to have for the bench. However, Blin, the German news outlet, claimed that both Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund would like to sign Hossack and have been attracted to his potential. Dortmund particularly would rather wait until the summer when they know what's happening with Haaland, meaning there is a window opportunity for Bayern Munich potentially. Sparta want around 25 million euro, 21 million quid for Hossack, and some West Ham fans may be a bit frustrated if he heads to Germany instead of London Stadium. Now, I think there's no doubt his potential, but it is taking a long time. It is taking a long time. So I think I was at 4. I've dropped it to 3.5, but I still think there's a deal to be had, as X would say. Happy Hammerit likes Hossack. We need pace in the team, so makes me wary of Cabral if we sign no more pacey support players. I mean, we do have pace, we have Antonio, we have Bowen, we have Ben Rama, he's quite quick. Vlasic is reasonably quick, not lightning quick, but we do have pace. I just think something more often than not, we get to the byline, across it in, and there's no blood there. We've got to get Hossack. That's what he says. Hossack has huge potential. He's injured. You're too right. He's injured at the moment. So that's probably one of the reasons why we haven't signed him as well. So what happens to Okaflex? Same age break. I think Okaflex needs, I don't know. He just needs a break. Don't know. I think once he gets in the first team, I don't think you'll get him out the first team squad. Once he starts, well, not starts, we've got some game time. I don't think. Maybe Kidderminster. Maybe at Kidderminster he'll get some time and he'll shine. He's every game he's played. He's absolutely been brilliant. Doing my sticker book. I'll be 45 in 6 weeks. Bloody hell! Yeah, I haven't started that. I've still got my bloody adrenaline cards there. There was a bargain to be had. That's now gone. It was. He's not 100 million now. That's for sure. Was injured last. He was. Free agency summer going to be amazing. Only thing is Newcastle going to inflate prices. I heard Lingard's Newcastle was sign on fee. It is. I mean, that's what Claret and Hugh have put as a. Apparently, Lingard has a £10 million carrot in front of him. So if he goes on loan to Newcastle will stay up. They sign him then permanently with it, and he has 10 million quid signing on fee. That's apparently what it is. 50 million for Richarlison? I don't know. Nothing to be said for re-signing. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen indeed. Right, let's carry on. There's a few more. Oh, God, what is it? An hour already? Christ, I haven't even finished yet. Oh, dear. Right, next one. Let's talk about Schlick. Let's talk about Patrik Schick. Apparently, we're still eyeing up a sensational £40 million bid, according to Italian media outlet Calcio Mercato, we know it very well, says Moyes wants to sign the striker before the transfer window is open. He enjoyed a superb season in front of goal for Leverkusen this season, scoring 18 goals and setting up 3 in 16 games. His team also sit third in Bundesliga and could be the difference between West Ham getting Champions League. He could be the difference between West Ham getting Champions League football or not. Again, he's not an Antonio player. He's very much around the box. Again, very different. If he signs, Schlick will be joining the mini Czech contingent at the club. And we'll be joining, obviously, Thomas Souček, Vladimir Sufo, and currently Alex Kral. The striker's been linked with Man City and Newcastle, and it could be a tug-of-war for the 25-year-old. There's no doubt he's a proper great player. He's a good player. But maybe he's a bit too good for us. Does that make sense? Claret and Booze do the thing where they put the strikers in different categories, and he's very much category B. I think I'd put him in the same bracket as someone like El Nesri. You could get him, but he's going to cost you, 30, 40, 50 million quid, a lot of dollar. I like him. I put 2.5. That's a mere. I mean, but he's Czech as well, and sometimes old Danny K might open up the old checkbook, literally, to get him in if that's what Moisey wants. But he's going to get there'll be a lot and lots of competition for him. That's for sure. Tammy Abraham is one they got away. He was, yeah, I agree. He's doing very well. He was, but again, I think people we're linked to, I think now are better than Tammy Abraham. Would love Schlick, but sadly can't see it happening. Heard a rumor going around he doesn't like the way that we play. Fair play, indeed. That's what I heard as well. 40 million, are you sure we'll spend that much? Let's think, Moyes isn't that type of person who does that. He's not. I mean, you look at the people he signed. He signed Souček. He's signed Bowen. I mean, they're less than 20 million quid. Ben Rama, 25 million. That's a lot for him, isn't it? And this is the last, I think. And also, what's interesting, also we're coming into the summer after this. There's a lot of people at West Ham who are out of contract as well. A lot of the hangovers from the Pellegrini era. So as of sort of August time, we're going to have a squad which is pretty much Moyes' squad. He's getting the players he wants in. He's moving players on. I still think there's a lot of hangover from that Pellegrini era, not just the players, but the attitude as well. The fact is we spent that much on Haaland, that much on Anderson. Fornals is the only one who's come out of that Pellegrini era with any sort of any credibility. And even then, Moyes has played him in a different position than we bought him. We bought him as a 10, and Moyes plays him as more of a box-to-box midfielder. Anyway, carry on. Armstrong was knocking them in for Blackburn last season, hasn't done a lot. He did, and that was one that got away. We was like, we should have got Armstrong. He's not setting the world alight, is he, at Southampton? Barely getting a game. Although I do like Borja. I wouldn't mind putting a bid in for Borja if it would be good at West Ham. Come on, West Ham, click the like button. Don't do it for me. Do it for Ahmed. Don't do it for me. Do it for Ahmed. Nketiah. Again, Nketiah's a strange one, isn't it? It's a strange one. I just don't know if we can get it. Be happy with Schlick, indeed. Richarlison has a no attitude issue, Dennis. He's just a winner. There we go. I'd be happy with Josh King. That was another one that went away, wasn't it? We should have got Josh King. Then he was like, he didn't do nothing. They went to Watford. Everton did nothing. Going to Watford, he started to bang him in. The market is changing. It certainly is. Never wanted Armstrong, way too small, indeed. Yep. Well, I'm shit then. I think this year he has more goals than Haaland. I think you're right. Yeah, I think he has had more goals than Haaland. Moyes in the land of the giants is the master plan. Well, it is. I mean, look at how far, we're always top of the league in terms of how scoring from, corners and things like that. That's the way the Moyes system works. Anyway, let's do one more, then we do one silly one that's come up, and then we're done. Let's talk about Mohamed Bayo. We obviously linked to him in the summer. And basically Brighton, Southampton, and us are all set to miss out on Bayo this summer. According to the Sun, the Premier League trio will be unable to sign him until the summer. They're keen to keep on hold of the of Bayo for the rest of the season. Clermont are basically hovering above the relegation zone, to be fair. He's been chased by Premier League sides since last season. However, a decision has been made by Clermont to postpone the sale for the striker this January in an attempt to claim League on survival. So very similar to someone like Burnley and Tarkowski, basically, but obviously centre-back and not a striker. The striker has compared himself to Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Great. Brilliant. Love it. And French football expert Liam Raff has likened him to Romelu Lukaku. Indeed, with Brighton, Southampton, and West Ham all needing strikers, Bayo has bagged 9 goals in 17 appearances this season. Could be an ideal given his age is just 23 and his form this season. However, with Clermont stating their intention to keep the forward into the summer, this decision could result in either way Premier League side landing a bargain with the striker in the summer. I think we'll get him in the summer. I don't think we'll get him now. I've put 2. I think we could inch in the summer, definitely, but I don't think now. And then let's have a silly one. It was Eden Hazard. Next one, Alexis Sanchez. Here we go. News outlet La Tequera, pardon me, claimed that West Ham are interested in signing the Inter Milan superstar Alexis Sanchez and are ready to table a £6 million bid. However, the Hammers face competition from Newcastle in pursuit of the Chilean. Sanchez, 33, that's why it's bollocks, has seen his career dwindle ever since joining Man United in 2018. Just 5 goals in 45 games after 80 goals in 166 games for Arsenal. Saw him go to Inter Milan initially on loan. His form has slightly improved. He has 15 goals and 36 goal involvements in 89 appearances for Inter Milan, but it is some way below his standard of a player with 144 caps for his country. He started 4 of Inter Milan's last 5 Serie A games, scoring 2 goals. He's on big wages, and he's entering the final 18 months of his contract. 18 months, and he's only still 33. Wow. If a decent offer comes in, Inter are likely to let him go and returns to the Premier League. Looks as though it could be on the cards. Indeed, the reports claims that West Ham are ready to table a £6 million bid to lure him back to London this month. However, they are not the only club interested, with cash-rich Newcastle also interested. But the fact of the matter is, Newcastle have a much better chance of matching Sanchez's wages. At West Ham, he would likely have to take a pay cut. There's always one, isn't there? There's always one. 1.5. Bullshit. Oh dear. Go away, Sanchez is looking for one big payday. Definitely, because they can't go to China now, can they? They can't go to China now. So yeah, that's it. Sanchez, no. Oh my god, I give up. It'd be some sane old crap. I just put it in because I thought it was funny, Vinny. It's like when we were in for Hazard. So, yes, not going to happen. What about Sanchez heat map or cold? So, as always, what I like to do is, where is it? Stop sharing my screen. So, in terms of all of our, where is it? Where's my little list? Because I always, at the end of all my little transfer shows, I always take a wry smile at everyone we've been linked with, and this is where we're up to at the moment. Let me just, when we find it, there we go. Here's who we've signed. Here's who we've been linked with at the moment. A fair few, let's be honest. I think I'm on about 80 at the moment. Ahmed likes that. What about Carlos Sanchez? Well, indeed. Pellegrini did sign Fabianski. You're right. Ridiculous, isn't it? Isn't it ridiculous? And that's what we always say. We bring you the news. We don't say all these players are signed. We've had over, I think I must have had over 80 from. Go back and check out my Twitter. I did all of our transfer targets, all to the lyrics of "We didn't start the fire," but I called it "We didn't start the rumors." So it's like Toshin Adaboe Deli Ali Adam Loshak, and I thought I was very funny anyway. Be here all night, Russ, speed up. Exactly. It's going to get longer. It's going to get longer in the next couple of weeks. I'm telling you. Well, look at this. Indeed. Does that list end? No, it's not. Is this the end of a film? Was it good? Indeed. Yeah, we've just been showing a film. Gonna sign all these players to West Ham on FIFA. Sounds great. Sounds like Rainbow. I was going for a 1970s credits, like comedy series credits. I think I got there. Love the show. Thank you very much, Arwen. Thank you very much. Evening, Trev. Thanks for turning up. We're just about to finish. Evening, Jason. Hope you're well, my friend. Looking forward to the deadline special. Indeed, we'll be doing a deadline special, hopefully with a couple of ex-players as well. Boom. Just been talking to a few of them this week and see if they fancy coming on and giving their thoughts as well, because we're mere mortals. These guys have crossed the line at London, at Upton Park, particularly in terms of people we're going to get on the show. So they know more about football than we would ever possibly know. Can't Cole busy at the moment? Who knows? Good luck to you both, Harry. Keep us posted. Trevor, the only way Soccer Fleps is going to get into the team is by putting, not butting, that'd be terribly bad, putting laxatives in Yarmolenko's food. Who's the most likely signing suspect, if any? Well, as I said, Anton will be here tomorrow. I think it's about 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock in the morning. He's going to be talking about the two out of everyone we've been linked with. Apparently, it's the two we're getting, or the two that we've been identified are BDD and Nat Phillips as a two. £40 million for the pair of them. Anton's going to go through in a lot more detail, go for the stats, give you his thoughts. As I said, tomorrow is basically Anton Day. He's doing that. He's doing the David Moyes press conference. He's doing the preview in the evening of the Man United game. So make sure. So yeah, double shift Friday indeed for Anton. As I said, if you're new around here, give it a like. If you enjoyed it, give us a like, give us a share, give us a comment, give us a subscribe. What would be great is afterwards, give it a little comment on the video when we've finished, because that helps us quite a bit. Maybe become a channel member. There's over 50 channel members on the network as well. We'd like to thank every one of them, and I do it at the end of my shows. So until next time, my friends, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Yep, no, same old crap, different day, Vinny. But take care, stay safe, wash those hands, come in your wines. And Trev Tube's going to go and watch the whole show again because he's missed it. And as I said, thank you to all our channel members and every one of you for joining in the chat. It's always good fun. So yeah, good night, everyone. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
It's like a family tree, part of you and part of me. And if we should separate,